Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
I'm such a rube that I will occasionally want information on financial issues like interest rates, loan consolidation,
Yeah.
HELOCs, as they're called, home equity loans.
Yes.
I don't want to tell our listening audience not to do that, not to investigate, but just know this, that in the event that you do reach out to somebody and inquire, they really aren't going to part with any significant information unless you give them your information.
Right.
And once you do, game, set, match.
Oh.
You can take the time to blow everybody up and tell them to F off and not have anything to do with you, or you can just delete. And it brings me to the significant point that I have now. I truly am developing a pure hatred with my phone. My wife, it's attached to her. She loves it. She would not be without it. She would be lost without it. For me, this thing has become more of an albatross than anything. I think someday, if I'm ever truly blessed enough to just say goodbye to all of my day-to-day responsibilities,
Yes.
I may seriously totally get rid of it and not have anything to do with it. And it's not phone calls nearly as much as the combination of phone calls and text messages. Now, it also applies to the job that we do together. In a land far away, long ago, certain tasks were not being accomplished. And therefore, Oscar implemented a protocol where everything has to be reported. Would that be? Am I getting that right, Oscar? Would it be?
It has to be certified that things have been done.
I need you guys to be a little higher in volume.
So it's just a checks and balances. So everything we do, once it's done, the show's posted, audio's been checked, needs to be checked in. So everybody sees that it's been checked and it's posted. Shows up on YouTube, done, checked. All the socials are ready to go. It needs to be checked in. So everybody keeps everybody accountable.
Right.
And I'm a bad business person. I wouldn't
say that.
I shouldn't be complaining. God knows I shouldn't be complaining. I hate it. I hate it. It's always at a very inopportune time. And it's just annoying because it's like, nyeh. I find this thing, I never feel like this, to me, this device that we all love so much is the always on device.
I don't know that everyone loves it.
Okay.
Right. I mean, don't you miss a little bit of not being contactable?
Yeah.
There was a day.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also...
And I lived in that generation. I mean, I'm from that era.
Do you miss looking stuff up in an encyclopedia for answers? Like, there's a give and take here.
Love that. That you couldn't...
That's true.
Having a discussion with anybody at any time about anything, having an automobile where you press a button and you say, what year was Daniel Jones born?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes back and goes, Daniel Jones was born.
Correct.
And that, you can't argue. That's
magical.
That's me on my time. But and I think
but doesn't that make it our time?
Mr. Hand.
Oh, God.
Stop being a rube.
Yeah.
There's a give and take. Look, this is for anybody out there that is, and Mike, look, are you annoyed by those texts? I think you're overreacting here. You'd rather know than not know. So communication is key.
I would rather know. I can rephrase it this way.
Okay.
I have total respect for the process. The process had to be done. I feel resentful of why the process had to be done. So from that point, I seem to, when we get those little reminders, and this might sound really bad to people that work on our show, but it reminds me of like in a world where everything was done the way it was supposed to do, that would not have to happen because that would be assumed to be done. But in our world, it's done as kind of a backup plan. Would that be accurate? I mean, just be, with full disclosure.
Yeah,
I'm sure nobody likes getting them or sending them.
No, guys, I like getting them, and I like that they're sent. And in fairness to the team here, if you reframe the way you look at Mike, this actual process is stronger than the process we've had in the past.
Yes.
So it actually is more effective because
it is, and I think that
because it doesn't allow anybody to forget certain aspects of what I like to call putting the bow on the end of the day's work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's
Amen.
valid.
So we actually use this process on other shows.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Then you've just poured a little anti-resentment sauce on my resentment.
A serum.
More of a
Yeah.
syrup.
So it's a best practice, and I'll tell you, for example,
It's the best costume
on for some of the ESPN shows when we use this type of process.
Yes.
Or even for the Lincoln Project.
So it's basically and what you're talking about, and just so the audience knows what we're talking about, this show is not just all of us coming in and recording a podcast. There are different platforms where this show has to be formatted and put on
and posted
to get
and
full,
tested and make sure that we're alive and it's playing
100%
well. Yes.
to get out to the world. If you're not doing that, you're not playing in the real
control.
big leagues.
Correct.
You're not
Correct.
doing it.
Correct.
So you have to do it. It has to be done. And it has to be verified that it's done.
Correct. It has to be verified that it's done. And then the stakeholders, the hosts of the shows, whether it be the Lincoln Project, ESPN, the White House, all of them, because there's multiple people in different offices.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that do different, play different roles on different teams. They all get notified, not by text, traditionally by Slack or by text, depending on the preference of the client.
Okay. All right. I get it.
It's part of the
that's
process.
Fine. That's part of the process. And
Yes.
I think when the frustration for me may have been when I will now refer to it as the mystery illness was floating between 99.2 and 101.4.
Your infection, yes.
And by the way, I am, to the best of I'm on my second full day of not even taking Tylenol for fever reduction. So I believe that the antibiotic that I was put on last week by Dr. We Don't Have Anything is working.
Oral,
and I think
not
that
rectal,
particular,
right?
Not rectal antibiotics.
Just
no.
for the clarification.
No, but it worked. And look, that's it. So I can bitch all I want about this doctor, but when you give me, when you didn't follow up, but you called in a prescription, that's just as good as following up. I took it. I'm better. I got like 3 more to take, and I'm done.
Wouldn't it be ideal, though, if he prescribed and followed up?
Yes, that would be a perfect world.
A perfect world,
a perfect world. Maybe it's kind of like what we're talking about right here. You know, communication. It's the key.
Mm-hmm.
It's the key to everything. But I will now refer to this as the mystery illness. An illness because, I mean, do you think if you have the flu, don't you at least have a little sniffle, cough, at least if you have that?
No, I think influenza has to do more with your gut. A cold, like
sick tummies?
Sick tummies or intestinal distress.
A stomach flu?
Yeah, that would be a stomach flu.
I thought you had some peanuts and you went sideways.
I had absolutely nothing of that. What I had was a feeling that you've heard people talk about.
Were you hooked on a feeling?
I was hooked on a feeling.
DJ Thomas, very nice.
I'm high on believing.
Could be also Blue Sweet.
For about a day and a half, I felt non-functional. Like the first day I got it, the day I got it that I called you, Rob, I was in bed and I did not, and I couldn't get up to turn a light off.
Yeah.
That's how bad I felt with that. And then it's gone less than a week later, and I still don't know what it was, and that's a little frustrating for me. I will refer to it as the mystery illness. And to call it the flu, I suppose, they said to me that once I tested negative for COVID, they didn't need to give me a flu test because if I was negative for COVID and I had that fever, it was probably the flu.
Mike, I misspoke. Let me read what it says about influenza. The flu.
Is that the flu?
Yes. The flu, short for influenza. Flu.
Oh, okay, got it.
The flu attacks the lungs, nose, and throat. Young children, older adults, pregnant women, and people with chronic diseases or weak immune systems are at high risk. It can be deadly.
So
yeah, I think medical advice
attacks the nose. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't. I think can't you just move on and hope it doesn't happen again?
Well, no, he wants to know what he had.
Don't you like to know? I mean, like what it really was.
God,
as soon
if
as
it's not a social disease, I can move on. Like that's
it's not that.
You know what I mean?
Unless you can get it from a pool.
You can.
Yeah.
And
I heard you can get it from the toilet.
seat.
No, just
Carla, I was at the club. There's some dirty dudes there. You know they're dirty dudes.
Others.
The hell would it be?
They're always cheating on their wives.
I
It's
believe
them.
also I'm not a pool person. I don't trust pools, even my own pool.
Do you
I don't
drink the
trust
water? Like what? How do you test
No,
it?
I just don't.
His teeth have never been whiter.
I feel like when you get in a pool, you are playing with fire.
Yeah.
I really feel like you're going to get out of that pool and you're going to have some. I don't care.
As a
I don't
former
care about
lifeguard-
Yes.
chlorine.
Let him speak his words.
As a former
Yes.
lifeguard, many a summer, I remember when I first went through training. Somebody asked, "What happens if someone has AIDS? Can they swim?" And this. I'm not that old. Where
Somebody asked that question.
No, during our lifeguard class.
Wow.
Was the person really thin that asked that question?
Stop it.
No, it
Sorry.
was just some kid that was 15 trying to figure out. I don't know if he was being a smartass, but I remember it stopped me in my tracks, and I'm like,
it was on our minds.
It was.
But it wasn't that like. At that point, I'm pretty sure magic was cured. Like it wasn't.
I forget
that-
you're younger than me.
Yeah, top of mind.
Yeah.
Ryan White wasn't on television.
Yeah.
Magic's still alive and thriving.
Yeah, I've been watching Game
And
Time
the-
on HBO.
The owner of your Washington Commanders.
So
Oh, he's one of the owners?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Okay.
chlorine kills everything.
It does.
Everything.
Okay.
But what if
All
your
right.
cocktail is off?
No, I mean you
Oh,
can
you
get
mean the mixture of the
Yeah.
chlorine, the balance,
even
the
though
pH
even at
and
the
all that?
lower levels, it's killing almost everything. Your bathtub probably has more microbes and viruses just sitting around there as you're waiting in that water.
Don't get me started on my bathroom. My bathroom's got some weird gribblies going on. And Carla, who goes to her little networking meeting where
Yes.
you got to use the people that are in her
Mhm.
network group,
Yeah.
brings a guy out, and the guy was just like, "Oh, don't ever use a plunger." I said, "What do you do if the toilet's backed up?" "Oh, you can," and he's all like, when somebody comes to your house and they're Dr. Know-It-All, right? There's like, there's nothing they don't know.
Yes.
And you were instantaneously the idiot.
Yeah.
And
Look, I don't care about your plunger rules, dude. Stop
Yeah.
staring at my wife.
Yeah.
it's just
Listen,
get out of my home
I'm on
now.
a low fiber regimen, and that plunger I need.
I have a small bathroom. One of the selling points of this home was that we have a bedroom that has a full-size master bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has what I would describe as the back bathroom that would be, I think, really, even though it does have a shower, it is kind of the forgotten bathroom. It's
Almost
small.
like a powder room.
It's not a powder room. It's just a small. It's got a closet attached to it,
A half
and it's
bath?
narrow, and it's small, and so
Is it a full size shower or a stand up shower?
it's a stand-up shower.
Okay, so
I think we've seen it. No?
No, I didn't get
probably
to go
seen
into it. No, you wouldn't let me breach the perimeter of that part of the house.
That part of the house you weren't allowed to be in.
That's right.
Probably.
It was kind
people
of
have
like
to
Elvis's bedroom.
you have to have some privacy.
I
That's the way I
understand.
look
Oh, it was
at it.
in your bedroom. I did not see
Yeah,
it.
it was
No.
it had proximity to the pool.
Didn't see it.
But the selling point, the reason really that this house became ours is because Mrs. O'Mara loved the idea of having two bathrooms where she didn't have to worry about me. And of course, she took the big one, and I was
Did you
fine
flip
with
a
that.
coin or anything, or
No,
she just took
wanted
it?
the big one. She can have it. I don't care.
All right.
But what I deal with now is that when I had just the other day, and it's probably one of the grossest things I've ever had to deal with, I had a backup in the commode. This is the same commode that we played the sound effect when I
Oh, the
ruptured the pipe when I
installation.
put
Yes.
the clear ear in there.
yeah.
Mhm.
By the way, the clear ear that is still the original
cranking?
one that I bought and
Man.
humming along without any issues
And it's
whatsoever.
been doing work.
Should it hum?
The clear ear sits above the commode,
Yes.
and I got a clog. And for the second time, when I plunged it, I hear coming up through the sink. drain.
Oh, that's the worst.
How does that
And
happen?
It's all connected.
I mean, I've never plunged a
it's
toilet
just-
that
It's so
violently.
nasty. It wasn't violent at all. It was I plunged much more violently than I did with it. In fact, this was a one-hander.
Okay.
This was a one-hand plunger.
Do you have like
but
one
what
of
I got,
those Amazon or QVC plungers that does everything?
I've got the plunger that's not the traditional one with the open-ended.
You got the
It's got
Space
the
Tech
rubber
polymer.
thing
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Well,
the
that's-
polymer.
That'll get you.
Well, you know that is a proper
That's
toilet
good
plunger.
work.
The kind that is flat is a sink plunger.
It is.
Okay.
There are two
all right.
That's what I
yeah.
use.
Well, I barely got it done. It's the second time I've succeeded in getting it unclogged. And by the way, I'm not a stuffer. I don't do it anymore
No.
with the clear ear. I don't do it.
There's
So
no
this
need.
This is a
Why wipe when you can wash?
this is a recurring.
They call him the Prince of Rinse.
thorough. By the way, there is a different water pressure for pre-flush and post-flush, of course.
As there should be.
Yes.
I said, of course. Of course there is.
Of course.
Of course there is.
Well, you're
If
the
there
Prince of
is-
Rinse.
I turned into Jerry with a lozenge
Can
there
you-
for a second. Of course there
Can you
is. That's it.
control the pressure that pre and post come?
Yeah, there's a dial.
Oh.
There's there's a pre and post. What?
What?
Did he say what I thought?
Yeah, he
said?
did.
Yeah, but not.
It's
I
just,
didn't mean it
uh,
that way. I didn't mean it that way.
I'm going to bleep
It's-
it anyway.
It sounded. Oh, just leave it in.
Well, I was
going to
go C and G or come and go, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you do it. You do it pre, and you get if I go full open for
Yeah.
the entire process, the water pressure changes based on whether I have flushed and it's filling
Much
the
like,
tank up.
Power washing a deck. Like first you do that first pass to get all the big stuff off, and then
Well, with
you
a
go,
power washer, the one I have, it's
Yeah.
an attachment.
oh,
So you put an attachment on, and it can really concentrate the stream.
Can you take
or-
that attachment and put it on the clear rear?
I cannot.
It might
don't
be
know.
they're
standard.
universal Mowens, right?
I don't know. Yeah, look, could I use perhaps maybe I don't think it's a thing where like you're getting a tolerance for it and you want more. I'm fine with the intensity.
A tolerance.
I hope they. You know what?
You'd really hurt yourself if it was
You
more
could,
intense
yeah.
than it is.
Well, one time
Yeah.
I was using a power washer and a horsefly.
On your ass?
No, on the
Okay.
driveway, and a horsefly landed on my leg, and just out of thinking I'm going to get that horsefly off, I squirted it with the power washer and killed my leg. It hurt so bad. So you
Yeah.
have to be careful. It's
Yeah, but
not
anything's
just a spray of oil.
possible with you. Well, look
Yeah.
at you. Look at your head now.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
it's still purple the second day in a row. That
I'm
it's
using the
completely
power
purple.
washer to get the skin off, the sloughing off. It's
When
nasty.
has the peeling begun yet?
No, Mike, but I'll let you know as soon as, and I'll send you a nice big dish of face peel off.
No, I just want to know when the peeling
if
begins.
you look at yesterday's thumbnail for the show,
It looks like it needs color correcting.
I remember thinking that I had to, really. The cover, the thumbnail is essentially Spiewak's secrets to sunburn or something like
Yeah.
that. Sunburn secrets revealed. And I took a picture of Rob. I thought I'd have to manufacture, without even looking at the picture, some level of like really
Redness.
over the top sunburn.
like a Willy Wonka.
I didn't
where
even
you,
have to
do the
touch it.
colorization thing.
The natural picture
Yes.
did enough justice to what was going on.
Yeah, it's
It
nasty.
was fun. It was big fun. So the plunger results in this horrible sound, like the most disgusting sound you'd ever hear. And then then
I've heard it.
gribblies start coming up
Yeah.
through the sink, and it's like nasty. It's not the same poo gribblies as you would get out of the commode, but it's gribblies that are in the drain.
It's cloudy water, and it smells. I know the smell. It's bad. It's bad.
and I
bad,
said,
bad.
I want the guy to come out. He said, I don't have to. It's fine. You're fine now. And he just left. And I think the whole thing ought to be just snaked and the pipes ought to be clean, just
Did he-
like Chris Elliott says in the movie.
These
It's
pipes?
something about Mary. It's time to clean the pipes. Come on, let's get it done.
And
Get
he
her
also,
done.
you know what? He screamed that in Cabin Boy too.
Yes, he did.
These
Clean
pipes
the pipes
are clean.
These pipes are clean. So it's
but when
it's
the plumber
nastiness.
looked at it, did he ask if you ate corn often?
No, I think, that's gross.
It
Oh,
is, isn't it,
God,
Oscar?
That's
Don't
so
ruin it.
nasty. God, he can't
That's
do anything
gross.
biological.
Yuck.
This is after thinking about your derriere hanging in the river. That's
Yeah. Well, he prefers to
nasty.
use nature's clear ear.
That's right.
It's just clear ear.
And
So,
Mike, I wasn't doing that on purpose. I hope you know that.
I know you were trying desperately to get your
My
your
trunks
swim
up.
trunks
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just look. I want to I want to have a house that is fully functioning without any issues, and we've been on a pretty decent roll
Right.
Don't
since
jinx
we
it.
got. What's that?
Don't jinx it. This is what jinxes it.
Yeah.
That where I talk about it. But
Yes.
no, the plumbing in my bathroom is not 100%. When I flush, it is not that wonderful sucking sound you get when you flush a toilet. It's a little labored. It goes down, but it doesn't necessarily go.
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
it's
with a great deal of gusto.
it's gravity driven. The whole thing is gravity driven.
That's
So,
what I'm told.
Have
Yes.
you thought of investing in a commercial grade?
like on an
commode?
like on an airplane.
Well, when I was in the restaurant business, one of the very first things I did was I put those gas packs in the tank.
Yeah.
You know, you ever go into a restaurant or you go into a public building where you flush and it's
Yes.
it's like
of course.
that's I did those
Satisfying.
right away because I went to a dive restaurant way down on the Potomac River somewhere on a poker run, and this nasty ass dive place had this super flushing toilet that was spectacular. I literally lifted up the tank and I said, I want one of those. And there was this.
You said
this-
I'm getting into the restaurant business.
No, I was already in the restaurant.
Oh,
business.
okay, okay.
And I looked at it and I
A compressor?
immediately said, that's going to be. There's a name for it.
Let me look. Let me look.
I could have told you back in 2004. I would have told you, or 5. I would have told you exactly what it was, but I can't remember it right now. But it causes the toilet to flush with vigor, and it's a
compressed air, probably, right?
It's an air-driven product that ties into the plumbing.
It's like
and
Nas
it's
for your
good.
toilet.
Yeah,
Would you like to know another little restaurant fact about
sure.
toilets, especially if you have a nightclub atmosphere?
Yes.
When my Saturdays and Friday nights would start late, and we would not only have a restaurant business,
got
but
it.
we would have a
Flushmate, Power Flush Pressure Assistant Toilet Systems. It
That's it.
goes into
Yeah.
the tank.
No need for that in this
Oh my
house.
God!
How
this
much
is
does it cost?
Legit. Let me look.
Mike, as you know, Carla's birthday's coming up.
I'm going to say about $700 or $800. At least
I'm
it
gonna
was back in the
I'll
day.
take the under on that.
This
I'll say
thing-
580.
Okay, oh, by the way, just for those of you at home, don't look this up if you like gadgets, because you would want one of these in your home. In your home.
Power flusher?
A Flushmate.
Yep. How much?
I'm looking right now. There's different options.
That's
but-
exactly what they look like. They
Oh,
look like a
wow.
little canister that sits in there.
How is there a compressor that fills it with air?
Do you think it's 2004? You know how much I was drinking back in those days? I have no
no
earthly idea.
Mike, I was keeping up with you. So
I had no, but I know it was something that I thought would be valuable with 300 people using the
okay,
facilities.
a
at night.
Flushmate, not so bad.
how much?
How much?
Anywhere, depending on the degree and power you want, anywhere from $152 to $452.
You
Yeah, it's
win
not
with the
bad.
under.
Yeah.
You win with the under. And it's probably more of a consumer grade.
This is more
as opposed
consumer.
to
It's
the
not
professional.
restaurant.
Mhm.
But
Restaurant.
man, it was
Depends if you
here's
get the 503 or the 503H.
This is the fun fact. This is the other restaurant fun fact for bathrooms.
Oh, the nightclub. Yeah.
And I didn't know.
They should
until
make an
I had it.
Oppenheimer about this dude. Who invented this?
Yeah,
You know what
pretty
I mean?
quality stuff. Who invented the clear rear?
Yes.
Robert
You know?
Downey Jr. invented
Little
that.
plastic thing. God, I thought about our review. I think spot on. I think we nailed that Oppenheimer review
I do
yesterday. 100%.
We were brave enough to say it. Everyone else
So-
is loving it.
Yeah.
The other factoid that I would give you about the restaurant business, and look, I realize that you paint with broad strokes based on your own experiences, and if you think all experiences are like that, then you are stereotyping, and then that is wrong. I am basing this opinion on my own personal experience.
All
You
right.
would think that at the end of a night in a crowded restaurant bar with a vibrant nightlife, that the men's room would be the trashed room and the
Yeah.
ladies' room would be pristine with all the ladies. Quite the contrary.
Really?
Quite the contrary. And there are many women who will back me up
Yep.
on that, where ladies, first of all, they use a lot more of the facilities, and there's just more paper and more stuff going on. And there were many, many times where we had a real problem in the ladies' room because at the end of the night when it was cleanup time, it was nasty.
I think it's also sheer volume, because women
think
go
you
into
might
the
be right.
bathroom to gossip and meet and
Mhm.
regroup. So
and do lines of cocaine.
Yes.
maybe that I
You
can. I
do
don't know
some
that
blow.
for sure.
Sure.
Mhm.
But men just go and they take care of their business and get the hell out.
This
the
is
only-
weird,
the-
Mike, because Paulie Walnuts in The Sopranos said that the ladies' room is always nicer.
I think the ladies' room is always nicer as a facility.
I see.
I am talking about the condition at the end of a night.
I see.
A well-used, well-traveled facility, and you remember where mine were, right? You walked up that hallway.
Yep.
Towards the display case, and I had a little. I think at one point I had a little machine, a little claw machine there, where you could get some stuffed animals or something like that.
For condoms, wasn't it?
It was not for Don't paint that picture of my.
Yeah.
I'll accept the fact that my place wasn't the most savory
It was
place in the world.
G-strings and condoms.
That's what it was.
Not.
I
It
used
was
to be
not.
on that morning show.
Well, the claw could get it all the time. Let me
You
tell you.
boys remember this. I was all things to all people.
The only time I
was
was
all
ever in
things.
O'Mara's was when I faxed that contract, the first agent contract we ever had from your back room. I remember you had
That
a
was
white
a
fax
nasty
machine.
office, wasn't it?
I walked back there. I thought I was going to get killed, but you're really sweet.
Yeah.
And it was the middle of an appearance, and you were kind of it said, "Here's the fax machine. Who you faxing?" I said, "Robert Eatman." He's like, "He's going to take all your money." I said,
The Eatmans.
"Yes, probably." Did nothing for us.
It didn't. No. But it was I put a lot of time and effort. Yeah. And then, by the way, when you think about this, the places that are mom and pops that last, you got to
Well,
watch
you
the
got a
pennies
wife
to
out of
make.
it.
You got. I did. Well, but she didn't. I didn't meet her at my joint.
But that's how you kept her. You snuck her in underage.
That's
all
right.
those years.
That now you are lying through your teeth.
Oscar,
she
She
was
invited her
22.
girlfriend.
She was-
She's like, "My
No,
boyfriend
no,
will
no,
get you
no,
into
no,
his
no.
bar."
She was 22.
She was 22 and working as a cigarette girl
Yes, Rob turned it into the 1940s.
with the tray in front of her.
We
Yeah.
had
Cigars, cigarettes.
The whole tray. But it was, I was all things to all people, and
Yes.
that was probably a mistake as well. If I'd had to do it all over again, would have done two things. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
I would have gone into business, not with another person that was successful in an unrelated field. I would have gone into business with somebody who was in the field
Also,
of restaurants.
Makes sense.
You didn't. I remember you saying this, and it really struck a chord. You can have plenty of business partners, but one of them has to be involved in the day to day.
In that
in that operation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No,
Has to be
not,
there.
Not everybody who's a stakeholder can be the absentee owner.
You can't do it that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if anything that would have been done would have changed the eventual outcome where we got out of that biz, because it's a difficult biz with a very high attrition rate.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, for about 3 years, it was gangbusters. It was.
I remember when you were
balls
going to buy the sign
wall.
of the whale.
Yes. Oh my
I
God.
walked by there all the time, like that could have been O'Mara's too.
I would have been a grease spot if that happened.
I didn't know that, Mike.
And
That's
you didn't know that I was going to buy Sign of the Whale?
No.
I was going to buy Sign of the Whale, and we got completely and utterly hosed by an under-the-table
It was a
deal
seal.
with the landlord.
May I?
Folks should
if-
know
if I
Sign of the
recall-
Whale is a legendary bar.
You might recall better than I do, but
Okay.
I know that it was a kind of, it was chugging along, and we got in there, and it was like a fire sale, and we bid on it.
It was
we
a sealed
got the
bid.
Yeah,
It
sealed
was
bid.
a sealed bid.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe because these things interest me on how something is sold or acquired in such a manner. I didn't know that.
He
half of
likes
these-
money. It's what
Half
it is.
of, well, I want to learn from people's mistakes, but also from their successes.
Well stated.
And this wasn't a mistake either. 'cause
No, but it
nothing
was
ever
an
transpired.
opportunity, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in business, there are multiple opportunities. Some work out, some don't.
Right.
But this, for me, if Mike, so essentially scale is everything in business. Like, how do you scale up?
Right.
So he had a successful business and restaurant in Manassas. He had the brand. He'd proven the actual concept.
And brand.
So then,
yeah.
if Sound of the Whale is at a fire sale because it's bankruptcy or whatever it may be, and there's a sealed bid, that means the sealed bid, everybody puts in this by a certain time, and the best bid wins.
And if I remember correctly, there wasn't exactly a stampede that was taking place to
And
put bids
somehow,
in. Maybe one or two other people.
I remember you said we put a hyper competitive bid because you wanted the space.
We did.
And somehow, like it like any other
Heritage
business,
location.
yeah, any
Beautiful,
other
yeah.
business right across the street from here.
It
by
would
the
be
way.
so funny if you had opened it because you'd be able to walk to work from there.
Yeah.
And it just, I remember you saying
Legendary old bar.
Yeah.
in
after the
Washington,
fact,
DC.
you found out that it was a hinky sealed bid situation.
It was really, and it was after, if I remember correctly, it was after we had been informed that it was us, and we were very excited about it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
So you had thought you would won it. I remember.
Then closing didn't happen
closing
because of some hinky stuff. And am I right to? Did they have a fire or something there recently?
Yeah.
They did, and it's reopened.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good.
And
Is
I've
it
stepped
still
in,
called
and they haven't fixed it.
It's the same nasty ass place.
It's. I mean, I don't blame them. Downtown until President Biden gets everybody back to work in November.
Yeah, to come down.
Downtown is not a place, at least for a restaurant at this point, that you would reinvest in just yet.
The kids are the kids popping out in the evening in Washington D.C.
Yes,
still, Oscar?
absolutely. When I'm out here, I can see outside my office all of M Street and this downtown corridor. If you haven't been in for some time, you have all the clubs and you have the bars.
Right.
On Friday night, it's jammed. On Saturday night, it's jammed. And then on Sunday, day drinking, jammed.
And that's it.
That's it.
And then the rest of the week, crickets.
Most of the places don't even open up yet.
Tumbleweeds.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. You can't sustain it if you're doing
you
that.
can once the federal government comes back.
Right. But I mean, in the long run, I would have, with the recession and the economy,
COVID, you would have just folded up.
I would have been done.
Yeah.
And I was.
I'd say if Mike had gotten that property, COVID wouldn't have happened.
Thanks. Captain Sincere. That's your name. Mr. Sincerity. That's
you would have
what you are.
stopped the spread of COVID. Because
if I'd had a second location, you'd be dead. That's it.
I think you both might be dead.
We might be.
That's true. Buried
I remember
next to each other.
I remember
plot.
that little detail about, and I'm thinking, are there any other insights that I can offer about
the
it?
liquor license was a big deal. I remember that.
Well, that's because I had a relationship that had been established due to my radio career with the powers that be.
Yeah.
And it was not a positive one.
Yes.
And what I didn't realize is these institutions, in the case of, I don't even want to mention their name. I really don't, but I will. ABC, Alcohol Beverage Control.
Yeah.
They have them in a
BVD,
lot of states.
the
In
East Coast
Virginia,
family.
they have that.
Yes.
And they never
Boys
forget.
to Men.
They don't.
They never forget. And so, it was.
Do you remember, was DC one of the properties that has a limited number of liquor licenses?
does.
Okay. So something really has to close for it to be a transfer.
I went to Dixie Liquor right before they sold.
Great location.
The new owners.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you guys selling? Something happened. They lost. The owners lost the right to have a liquor license.
Yeah,
this is years
it's a big
ago.
deal.
Oh,
it's a big deal.
huge.
In some places, it's a big deal. In other places, it's not.
Correct.
But in the case of maintaining that, the authority that controls that
is the ABC, right? The liquor
had
board.
remembered my career with Don when we had worked together, and we had some controversial adult entertainment on a stage that resulted in controversy at another joint that we had. Nothing related to owning a restaurant. They still remembered it.
Wow.
They remembered it, and then they put an agent in my joint for, I think, almost a year, undercover.
Just looking for violations?
Looking for violations, and
because it
surprised
was
me.
Your station, right? They knew that you were outlandish and you were known for because think about it. You're a target. It's good for them, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was,
and they didn't like
but it
you.
was not.
You were from away.
It was, who knows what it was.
Probably doesn't enter
But I
into
do remember sitting down with a very attractive young agent who brought out a binder that was about that thick.
Yeah, a few
and
inches thick.
included in that binder were violations. And the agent, the way I understood it, could hang out at a bar and observe. And if you were, if a bartender was observed to be selling more than they should to an individual, boom.
Yeah.
Unappealable,
Done.
by the way. Unappealable. See another person, unappealable. And on a Friday night or a Saturday night, not exactly a difficult violation to ring up.
You're
Totally
right.
subjective, no appeal, and no way to do anything but. Because here's the thing. We had another violation where we had taken it
Sounds
to
like a
the
pattern.
board, and we had won. And somebody, I think an attorney, friend of mine said, you never win. They will never stop. And they didn't. But that wasn't the reason we closed. The reason we closed was because I would have paid, if I was still intent on going on, I would have paid the fine. It coincided with the fact that we were going to get out anyway. It's a tough business. It's a very, very tough business.
It is.
Very tough business to sell booze to human beings because, the great adage was, nothing good happens after 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you all turned into a club at night. So that was a big deal.
We had a thriving business where if people were coming in before 10:30, it was too early. That's
I always say,
after that.
If the Shark Club 1 and 2 can't survive, who can?
Yeah. I mean, and that's
true.
Funny you mentioned that particular establishment back in the day, but they were ready to get me, and they got me. God bless them. Yes, sir. But I respect authority.
Yes,
I
you
do.
Yes, you
I
do.
totally respect authority all the time.
Always have.
Yes, I'm a law and order guy.
Yes.
Always have been a law and order guy. And no one was ever served underage in that place. And I mean that.
Just to confirm.
You had to run a gauntlet to get into that place.
Yeah.
But when you got to the bar, I guess, check mark. We'll be right back, everybody. This podcast is sponsored by Groove Life.
Nice.
It's 2023. And to get my Groove Life, do it again, Mike. Show up without your wallet on the show when you're doing a Groove Life.
We've got it.
We've got this podcast sponsored by Groove Life. It's 2023. Are you still using the same wallet from 2003? You got to update your wallet. The Groove Wallet is a sleek, low-profile aluminum wallet. It's engineered for everyday use. One thumb motion perfectly fans out up to 6 cards. Rob's doing a good Vanna for easy access. And it comes with Groove Life's 94-year no BS warranty. Plus, they just launched a new attachment, the Groove Wallet Go. Let me say it the right way because I mess it up every single time. The Groove Wallet Go. That's how it should be said.
You don't want to say it like Larry King?
The Groove Wallet Go.
Go.
A perfect low-profile companion to your Groove Wallet.
Mike, look how easy it attaches.
You know what I'm doing, Rob? Hold on just a sec. Let me just get through this part.
All right.
I swear to God, it's hard for me sometimes. Sometimes it's just not connecting, so please bear with me.
Of course.
It's a perfect low-profile companion to your Groove Wallet or your iPhone 12, 13, or 14 that uses innovative micro-suction technology to give you the ability to add enough. That's the sentence, folks, that that was written for me. And I'm wondering why I get concerned when someone's interrupting me in the middle of that sentence because there's no period. Let me give you the whole sentence one more time.
All right.
I'm going to, here we go. I'm trying to find the beginning of it. Here we go. Plus, they just launched a new attachment, the Groove Wallet Go, a perfect low-profile companion to your Groove Wallet or your iPhone 12, 13, or 14. It uses innovative micro-suction technology. It's the ability to add another 3 cards plus cash. Hi.
Hello.
This wallet is so slim, you can easily fit it in your front pocket. You'll barely know it's there. And don't forget, Groove Life makes the best belts in the world. I'm wearing one right now. I wear it on the golf course all the time. It's time to bring your wallet into the 21st century. Head to groovelife.com/TMOS for 20% off all Groove Life products. That's the best offer you'll find. It really is. But you have to use our link, groovelife.com/TMOS. Please do it. These products are so good. You're going to love them. 20% off your order. One last time, that's promo code TMOS for 20% off your order. Just click the button on our website. Take it away, Rob.
I will build a round table.
I never seen an issue that was so dangerous it couldn't be talked about.
The round table.
Are you guys, by any chance, Let's Make a Deal, the modern Let's Make a Deal? Are you fans?
I've always thought it was a bad game show, even in the Monty Hall days.
Well, it's hosted by Wayne Brady now,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Brady, he can act, he can sing, he can host, he can improvise.
Yes.
He is as versatile as performers get, but it turns out he's also versatile in the sack.
Oh.
Because he just came out as pansexual. I'm not totally familiar with that term, but I'll give it to you right now. He says, quote, "To me, pan means being able to be attracted to anyone who identifies as gay, straight, bi, transsexual, or non-binary. Being able to be attracted across the board." And I think, at least for me right now, that is the proper place. Wayne is 51 years old, and he is down for all of it. But I'm here to say that this whole thing that seems to occupy our world, I believe that when you talk about pansexual, which I think encompasses all sexuality,
Yes.
I think perhaps more people are like that than we will ever truly know. With all the hang-ups in the world, with all the judging in the world, I think Wayne Brady is simply coming out and saying, I don't have any particular individual, or maybe he does have a special someone, but he identifies as pan, meaning he's attracted to everything. And
All
I
things,
think
yeah.
that more people are probably, I know that sometimes if you're in a gym and you see a guy and you might identify as heterosexual, but you see a guy that's working on a chest machine, you probably say, wow, look at that, right? And I know that around my wife, when she sees an absolute goddess walking around, she is attracted to that woman. And I see many examples of that every single day. So this pansexual term that is used, I think, Wayne Brady might be like more people than they would let on. What say you, boys?
I'm inclined to agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
and I fault no one for anything. As long as they're not hurting anybody, they're fine with me. Do what you want to do. But does he need to float it out as a PR piece?
I don't know if he's floating it out as a PR piece.
I don't think he is necessarily. Two things that are painful to me at this point. It's Rob's lips because they're ghost white for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. Is that sunburn?
Probably.
They look so painful.
Oscar,
God.
try to
can't
focus
see.
on the show.
Please pull the mic down. Let him see.
All right, I'm gonna expand his shot.
Why don't you zoom
Hold on a
in?
second.
Why don't you
I'm gonna-
zoom in for Mike on the two shot there?
All right, let me.
You got to
do
see
that.
these lips.
Okay,
And
let's
then
see
I'll
the
talk
two
about
shot.
Wayne as
Yes,
as
please.
Mac
All right,
goes
go
in.
ahead.
Goes in
Thanks,
deep.
Mac.
Being
Little more, Mac.
being
Little more.
pansexual these days is really
Oh, like a blister, like he's got a
Yeah.
blister
a
on
bunch
his
of
lip.
blisters.
Yeah, it's probably.
Stop licking your lips. Stop licking your lips.
Can we
That's
please
what it
do
is.
the show and not
That is
focus
it.
on my lips?
Well,
Oh, you're
now
customer
he's-
facing. We got to cover those up or something.
It looks like
Jesus.
a little herpes. or
Yeah,
something
Simplex
like that.
1.
Did you get a burn? Do you have a blister on your lip?
Yes, it's the lips
You
are
must
burned.
be
The
in
face is
pain.
burned. I am in pain.
Okay, you can pan out
Get a
now,
salve on
Mac.
there or something.
You
like
go
that.
back to the
Yes,
regular
I
shot.
need some salve.
Or aloe.
or chap. Do you have any chapstick or something?
I
Or
have some. I have some at
What's
the
it?
desk.
Carmex or whatever
Carmex,
they
yeah.
have. Carmex.
Carmex is for your lips. Carmex is if you want to get ripped off.
Pansexual is not a big deal anymore.
Right.
I think that
I
we're beyond that.
certainly-
I think
I
Wayne
didn't go,
Brady probably has to
"Oh
come out
my
with this
God." Yeah.
because somebody has been asking him about his sexuality, who he dates, who he doesn't date,
Mhm.
and the idea that we still are like
Caught up
obsessed with
Yeah.
it, and it's still an issue. And look, I make no apologies for my liberal political leanings,
in it. Mm-hmm.
but it just seems strange that we even have to discuss it anymore.
And I think somewhere down the road, it ain't going to be a thing.
I hope so.
I just
Yeah.
don't think it
Yeah.
can be. And I think, and by the way, I think there's plenty of that to go around from the what I like to refer to as the evil side, which you will be punished if you behave in a certain way, and the side that says they have to scream from the highest mountaintop and make other people invited into their world when maybe they don't want to be invited into that world.
Right.
I think really it's not going to be that big a deal. And I
No.
think the point I'm trying to make is that there are more people that probably have. Are you okay with your lips? now?
Not too
I'm sorry.
self-conscious right now. Go ahead.
They were dusty, but I didn't know it was loose skin.
All right, anyway, so Wayne Brady, there it is. Let's
Apparently,
make a
he's
deal.
up for everything, but he doesn't like guys with bad lips. He won't
That's-
return my calls.
That's it. Moving right along.
They'd be
I
rough
guess it
on
was
your
a pretty
skin.
big deal at FedEx Field the other night, Sunday night.
Yes.
And there were you guys had horrible storms on Sunday night.
Really bad. Yes.
Beyonce's show at FedEx was delayed due to a massive lightning storm.
The queen bee, Mike.
It started out about an hour before the show was supposed to start. Fans had to take shelter in their cars and inside the stadium for about 2 hours before she finally took the stage. Sunday night. Yeah. Can you imagine that? You're out there.
I
you got
would
a work
be
day.
bitter.
So the show ran late, but Beyonce wanted to make sure everyone got home safely. She paid $100,000 to keep the metro trains running to all 98 stations for an extra hour. Got to give somebody credit for that one. One more quick note.
Hope she can afford it.
You're so hateful of those who like just have this next level of success.
Guess what? Drive to the stadium, okay? Don't rely on. It's a horrible metro access. Just drive. Pay for parking.
That's expensive.
He goes to more concerts than you and I do,
Yeah,
so
that's
he
true.
speaks with authority on this. One more note on Bay. Her Renaissance Tour rider reportedly demands, the show what goes around comes around, that new toilet seats always be included in her backstage quarters.
Nothing wrong with
But
that.
in this particular case, her hind quarters.
And you know, Mike, in Drake's agreement, he gets all the old ones.
That's funny.
There you go. It's like recycling.
It is. It is.
That's
But,
what it
you know,
is.
I think there was a delay last night at the Pink concert. Pink played Nationals Park.
Because of the storms?
Because of the storms. There was another delayed concert.
Mother Nature.
Yeah.
When it comes to criminal justice, I think we like to put people in boxes politically about the way people. I am someone who, when someone is a bad guy, I believe the punishment should fit the crime. And in this particular case, nothing really funny about this. I just wanted to share it because I went back and read the story. First, I got it this morning in my copy of the Daily News that I read every day out of New York. And then just this gastroenterologist, have you heard about this guy in Queens?
No.
He has been charged with 50 counts of drugging and raping women after filming attacks around the world, including some at the prestigious New York hospital that employed him. Prosecutors say Ji Alan Cheng, he's a 33-year-old young guy, filmed his assaults in New York, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and Thailand over several years. He was first arrested in December of 22 and fired from New York Presbyterian Hospital in Queens after his then-girlfriend discovered and reported videos of him allegedly assaulting her and multiple other women. Police later found recreational drugs such as cocaine and ecstasy and several anesthetics at his home, as well as a stash of recordings. These creep monsters with their recordings where they want to save their stuff.
Like, look, this is evil. This guy should be just put away or put up for the death penalty because how much trauma has he created and caused
God
throughout
almighty.
his life. That's just sheer evil. I don't understand, and I think maybe this is why we will never understand this level of it's not just deviance, but it's
malicious.
You're sexually assaulting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've always said this about our modern society now. How many outlets do we stinky men have for satisfying what we need? And I'm not talking about illegally. I'm just talking about there are outlets.
Yes.
All right. And there are places in the United States where things can happen legally. Not necessarily everywhere in the United States. I think it should be. I really do. But this kind of crap, where you are that much of a monster that you got to knock people out in your office and drug them and then play with their bodies and satisfy yourself.
The weird thing to me is his age. That seems
33.
to be the sort of the territory of the older doctor to me. I don't know why. It just seems odd.
Yeah, you think of that gymnast physician. Remember for the U.S. gymnastics team? This guy's he's brand new. I don't know.
I was
going to
say,
don't they start at like 28?
If he's 33, he's
usually?
not been practicing.
I know. They had to get through medical school and then your residency. So late 20s.
Mr. Cheng appeared in court charged with 50 new counts, including rape, sexual abuse, and unlawful surveillance. He pleaded not guilty to the charges. Prosecutors cited dozens of short videos of him allegedly sexually abusing women, including a 19-year-old patient suffering from gallstones and a seriously ill 47-year-old. The new charges relate to 6 women, 3 patients attacked in a hospital, and 3 others at his home. All of them appeared to be unconscious during the attacks. That incredible prick. Unbelievable. Moving right along. So anyway, that, when
Do we have any account on Ponyboy?
About where he is? Is he okay? Check in, please.
Oscar, he was one of the victims.
I think Pony would drug himself.
Take a picture of yourself, Pony, with today's newspaper. Like everybody gets a newspaper. We don't do that anymore.
Well, Pony gets like something from Japan about collectibles, I'm sure.
This passing is noted by me because growing up and to this very day, I still don't think that there is a scarier movie than The Exorcist. William Friedkin, the famed filmmaker who directed The Exorcist, he has passed. The news was confirmed Monday by his wife, who said he passed in L.A., but exact details have yet to be revealed. It's a big hit to the film community as Friedkin was an influential force behind some of the 20th century's most iconic films, while he might be best remembered for the great 1973 horror flick, which to me still is the scariest movie. That and Silence of the Lambs, I think, 2 of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
And Disorderlies.
Rated PG.
That's right.
He had several other notable credits to his name. Did you know that he had the Oscar-winning French Connection? That was William Friedkin as well.
Mm-hmm.
He had that. Other films, The Brink's Job, Sorcerer, Cruising. One of my all-time favorites with Willem Dafoe, To Live and Die in L.A.
Yes, great film.
I want to see a great movie with a baby William, what was his last name? He was on CSI. William Peterson.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
I watched the trailer.
That'll be appropriate to the last story we have.
I watched the trailer for the new Exorcist.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
terrible.
I saw that in the theater.
For Oppenheimer, they played it before.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I said, this is too much.
It's a joke.
It's too much.
It's a joke. It doesn't have any. I mean, it's all special effects. They inundate you with, like, we're not bright enough anymore as an audience to really get the the surreal nature of possession by the devil.
But it was worthwhile to make my mom very upset because she's still traumatized from seeing the movie 50 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't look, to me, it's like so
no,
over the top with the special
effects. It'll be a disaster.
It doesn't scare me. What else here? Killer Joe, Rules of Engagement. He also directed a handful of episodes of TV shows: Tales from the Crypt, The Twilight Zone, Rebel Highway, The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, CSI.
Yes.
I wonder if he did any with William Peterson.
Probably.
I bet he did.
And do
That's
you know
probably
who
why they brought him back.
I didn't know this until this morning. You know who he was married to?
Who's that?
Sherry Lansing.
Who's that?
The head of Paramount for many years that rescued Paramount. But Mike, I'm glad one thing about William Friedkin, he didn't go with his original idea for The Exorcist. It was supposed to be a sitcom.
Your mother's in here with his card. Would you like to leave a message?
If that's true, then you must know my mother's maiden name. What is it?
Where did you find that?
I made it.
He made a funny tape of The Exorcist. Scariest movie ever made. And
I also have one for Silence of the Lambs.
My God.
Finally, today we want to talk about the penis.
Oh.
Thank you,
Well,
Mike. Finally.
Look, this is just stuff that comes across my desk that the staff here in Southwest Florida provides me every morning over coffee and bagels. You can think of plenty of words for, your little friend.
Yeah.
You really don't need us to list them here. They come up a lot. Look, it's ever present in our pop culture. What's down there, of which we do not speak a lot. They're the punchlines of jokes, particularly when it comes to size. They're often the excuse for why a man has an extra flashy car. I know that we call them the extender. You see somebody with like
a new Corvette, you're packing in my eyes.
It's if you have a Corvette,
if it's a 21, the new center engine Corvette.
Yes.
No longer in my eyes is that a midlife crisis car.
It's a beautiful automobile.
Yeah, that's
gorgeous.
I think the most mistaken car, the current one, for a variety of higher-end automobiles. By the way, higher end, that's over $100,000 now, that car.
Oh, you could get one for $80,000. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you can. Ooh,
a mid-engine. This is what you do, people. You buy the mid-engine, you go and detag that car. You take everything Chevy off of it. So people have to guess what type of car it is. They'll respect you.
Wonderful
more.
idea. That's kind of cool.
Always buy
I think you're
American.
misinterpreting what the Corvette
Sorry.
symbolized,
My
Oscar. It
apologies.
used to symbolize somebody compensating.
Yes.
I remember.
For
That's why I want
the lack.
to. Anything with a mid-engine Corvette, you do not fall in that category. I remember when I was younger, that was he must be going through a midlife crisis. He bought a Corvette convertible.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that does not apply. You know what it applies to? Probably an Aston Martin if you're buying it in your 60s.
You mean you have a small wiener?
Or it doesn't
If you're
work
doing that?
anymore.
Or it doesn't work anymore?
Yeah.
Well, that might be midlife crisis.
Could be.
You know, that could be it. I mean, but this whole thing falls under the category
I'll be doing that in my 50s and it won't work anymore.
of talking
Neither
about
will
it.
the
You're gonna
Aston
be
Martin.
fine.
Yes.
You're gonna
You know,
be fine.
when I was doing infomercials back in the day for car dealerships,
Yes.
one week they sent me up with a T-top Corvette, and I loved it. It was
Yeah.
so much fun to drive. It was
Lot
so
of fun.
comfortable. And I pulled into the driveway, and Carrie saw me pull in, music blaring, T-top
Oh,
open.
just enjoying your life.
She said, God, you're an idiot.
Oh,
Oh, that's
you
sad,
gotta
Rob.
celebrate that.
I know.
She should feel joy for you
Oh.
sometimes.
Well, it wasn't that time, was it?
Well, you remember also most recently Ariana Grande single-handedly creating the viral acronym BDE
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
with Pete Davidson.
Correct.
That's it.
Well deserved.
What we fail to talk about is when men are uncomfortable with that subject, talking about their own. That's a conversation that threatens their vitality, their masculinity, their libido, their place in the world, and the lack of discussion around this insecurities in some cases leading men to take extreme action, surgical action, medical interventions to get bigger. It doesn't matter whether a man is straight or not straight. Penis size is often associated with fertility, sex drive, manhood, but these perceptions are driven less by scientific evidence and more by hyper-masculine culture, which we live in right now.
This is true, Mike. You have said nothing I disagree with.
And I have never shied away from discussing size on this show. And that's why I am happy to say I am still, to this day, proud of the Irish mushroom. Very, very proud of the Irish mushroom.
And if for the record, you're a grower, not a shower, right?
I think that's what I would describe
that's
as
what
that. And
Carla
I think,
told us. Yeah.
I think perhaps average. I
Yeah,
would consider
I'm sure you're
myself
packing.
average. No, I have
Like
no
multiple
problem. Well,
families.
Obviously, I'm stammering enough where perhaps I do
Yeah,
have
yeah.
trouble talking about
Probably
this
got a
particular
silo
subject.
down there.
All I
A
know
Pringles
is
can.
my doctor told me I had an innie, not an outie. What does that mean?
Those who work in sexual medicine will also try to give you the reality check. The average
That's funny.
non-attention,
Right.
3.6. That's what the
And that's out of 10.
that's size.
Yeah, metric. What are we
Stop
doing
it.
here?
Play the crap. I'm done. I'm done. That's what this round table is becoming nothing but real trouble for me.
I love it.
Probably going to get us a lot of letters. And a lot of letter
A
writing.
lot of letter writing.
Yeah, we had a lot of. All right, we'll do it. I don't mean to make this the all body part show, but I found something on the internet that I must tell you. Next. That's Higher Ground. Stevie Wonder, Jeff Leonard, WKYS. How you doing? DC weather hot again. Temperatures in the mid-90s. Chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Here's Stevie, KYS.
You would have
80
nailed it. Yeah.
All right.
Just not
Here's a
vocal.
fact. 80% of men will experience hair thinning in their lifetime. He's pointing at you, Oscar.
Well,
He
I've
is
been
pointing at your
taking
head.
my Nutrafol.
I know. It'll help.
You can fight back by discovering Nutrafol, the #1
Yes.
dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement. Take control of your hair health and improve growth, thickness, and scalp coverage. Visit Nutrafol.com/men. Take the Hair Health Wellness Quiz and get a personalized plan for better health through whole body wellness. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code TMOS. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/men and enter promo code TMOS. That's Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code TMOS. All right. I have to do this.
You have been real funny about this because you started teasing it yesterday and you keep dragging your feet on it.
Oscar, I talk about something I found on a certain platform. Is that going to get us in trouble with that particular platform?
We can always bleep it.
All right.
That's true.
So there are the way I found this is that I'm online and there's a thing called, and I'm sure Oscar's seen it. It's called the Black Tape Project, and it's a runway show which the women are not wearing bikinis. They're wearing like masking electric tape. They're like,
I've seen that. I've seen that
he
online.
does designs.
Yeah.
It's very, very
Yeah.
viral.
It's
It's been
tasteful.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And then that pops up on my feed occasionally. I will see varying runway shows of swimwear in like Miami.
Oh, the Miami
and-
Swim Week. Who doesn't get that feed?
Sports Illustrated.
Mhm.
And then something popped up that
Look out.
I didn't watch it.
There goes that Pringles can.
But it was something, I forgot what it was called, but I thought it was something called the V bikini. And it's just absolute minuscule coverage.
Yeah, it's a micro-kini.
But even beyond a micro bikini. And in fact, it was blurred out. And so it was not an appropriate time for me to be viewing that.
Right.
Yes.
When I was doing my deep dive. And so I waited till later, and of course I couldn't retrieve it and I couldn't find it. So I put in my search engine the V bikini.
Oh,
and
that is not going to be okay.
And this is like on the place where this show is seen.
Yeah,
we have a
yeah,
wonderful
yeah.
YouTube channel
Yeah.
that we see. And the very first thing that shows up on that feed is an absolutely detailed video of someone shaving down there in all the glory. I mean, pure detail. Now, it was my understanding that on certain things, you're not going to come anywhere near seeing anything like that, and yet there it was. And there it was appeared to be very, very nice and very, very informative.
What were you trying to learn, Mr. O'Mara?
I wasn't trying to learn anything. I was
Okay.
just staring and watching.
It obviously
and
caught you off guard.
it caught me completely by off guard that it would be up on that, in our,
Isn't there like
in our
a-
little prudish society. That
How
it would
did
be up
you
there
explain it to Michael?
Or did you?
Stop it. I
Oh,
didn't.
he's
He
like,
wasn't.
Dad,
he
what are
was-
we looking at today?
We don't surf together.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Hey, Michael, come on in the room. I'll watch the Black Tape Project with Daddy. Please
Oscar,
stop.
is there not an age-verified version of YouTube?
Yeah, this is why you play yourself, Mike. You clearly have clicked on and logged
Not
in.
suitable for a certain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like-
clearly have clicked on.
Like you're
one.
okay with mature content.
Yeah.
I am.
Stop.
Amen.
Yeah.
You're disgusting.
Once you logged in and you've okayed the mature content, you're getting it.
But
Now,
that's the only time I've ever seen that type of content.
Well,
I
now
don't
it's
see-
but
Have
now it's in the algorithm.
Have you looked for it before?
No, I didn't look for it. Excuse me, but I didn't look for this. Stop putting words in my mouth. You're mischaracterizing this.
It's okay if
Yeah,
you look, Mike.
it's fine.
You know?
I
What
didn't
happened
look
is
for
this.
that. I looked. What that did was pop up on my feed, and that was it. And then I was like, well, that's nothing to the
Mike,
imagination there.
the
And by the way, the
YouTube-
full process was
The
done.
YouTube scientists have figured out that people that like the V bikini might also like what you saw.
Okay, so that's what it was.
And
all right.
Yeah,
well,
it's an
now,
algorithm. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to click on it.
Since you clicked on it,
Yes.
it's in the algorithm that you like that.
Also, I thought we
okay.
were doing waxing these days.
Well, you can get that down at, the McGregor Avenue in Fort Myers, Florida. Dermglowskin.com. Thank you for the plug. I truly appreciate that. Perhaps
Well
it's a
played.
good idea.
Why do it yourself?
Perhaps it's a good idea to move on right now, right? Let's do that, shall we? Come
I
on.
like your voice.
Just
you're
don't let
using.
little Michael surf on your
I'm not
on your,
gonna say,
on your
I know
account.
how to take care of my own progeny.
Yes.
All right, work on your own swimmers, for Christ's sake. Let's go.
low
Let's do
blow.
the commercial.
That was a very
Low,
low, blow.
blow.
Very
Yeah,
low
I mean,
blow.
and I mean low blow.
Hey, I
Are you
wanna
kidding?
tell you, hey.
Hey, Judge. Hey, Wang. You know,
It's a parking lot.
it's a parking lot. We'll be right back. Oscar's going to talk about taking another one of his vacations.
Yes.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Again?
Welcome back. It may be hot, but you can be chill
Baby.
with Dadgrass on your summer vacation or your second one. Their legal, organic, smokable hemp products are TSA approved. Hey, it's not like he's getting paid. Enjoy the effects of cannabis with their low THC, high CBD pre-roll.
You are
joints,
killing me. Stop it.
keeping a clear head. Imagine having a single beer instead of a 12-pack.
Imagine that.
That's the awesome feeling you get. I could use some right now. With Dadgrass. Explore their finest tinctures and gummies for all the mellow goodness, no smoke required. I promise you that you will love your flight. Dadgrass is the ginchiest. All Dadgrass
Just like
products.
a rehearsal.
Ginchy.
All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Plus, TSA approved. Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when you go to dadgrass.com/TMOS. Go to dadgrass.com/TMOS for 20% off your first order. Dadgrass.com/TMOS. Apparently, the entire Santana, apparently the entire Santana brood is apparently in South America now, apparently. And
Correct.
apparently they're all down there except for Oscar, apparently, who will be going in the fall. Or sooner than, the early fall.
Around
He'll be going
Labor Day,
soon.
it sounds like.
I think it's the 14th, or the 18th.
I thought you said the 4th. Forgive me.
No, the 14th.
So you were talking, I didn't understand
Two
what
things
you
are
were
happening.
talking about.
My sister and her entire family are in La Paz, Bolivia, as we speak.
Is that the capital?
That's the capital. So
Okay.
my dad is there. My mom is there. We did not go because we have responsibilities here at work, but they wanted to take their kids to both Luca and Sophia, who are 16 and, if I'm not mistaken, 13 now. Or 17, 13. I don't know. They're teenagers.
So, but it's
But
whenever you mention the kids' ages,
Yeah.
it just
I know.
time flies.
My mom wanted to, their mom wanted to take them down so they would experience and see what a third world looked like before they go to college.
Okay.
And it was a lot. There was a lot to do with that. One is to see my father and have my mom down there and experience the culture together as they get older, but also to show them what an emerging economy and emerging world looks like. That it's not always going to be a peninsula and the Pacific Ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they arrive and
Talk about the Peninsula Hotel.
no, the peninsula they live on, staring at the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
In
They do.
Los
They're
Angeles.
very successful
Correct.
physicians, and they do very
But
well.
you have to remind people,
Mhm.
and no better way than travel and to see the less fortunate.
I agree.
So what I love about trips these days is it's no longer, hey, I'll hear about your trip when you get back.
Right.
Now everybody has the World Wide Web, so you can FaceTime people and call people.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question before
Yes.
you proceed? The current climate, because I'm not up on it.
Yes.
And it hasn't really been, if there's anything going on, it certainly hasn't been in the news. Other countries have. What is the current political climate in Bolivia?
It's, it's basically being run as, and this is my perspective. It's not my parents. It's like it's not communist, but it's very socialist leaning.
A little bit of a dictatorship.
Yeah,
too?
correct. I mean, they say it's a democracy, but it's not that.
I heard last week that Luca got 20% of the vote.
But the level of poverty in the country is still high. So I think that's really
They're not
outside
running
of the
it well.
politics.
Not
correct.
running it well.
And for what used to be called a third world country is now an emerging nation, or there are certain aspects and certain general ideas of what I remember, and my brother who went not 5 years ago remembers. And my first question to them when I'm on FaceTime with my niece and nephew, and they put me on speaker because I'm asking them about their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, it's 11,000 feet above sea level, so they're going through the motions of altitude sickness.
Okay.
Which means it comes out the front and comes out the back for those of you not in the know. But what I always will remember forever is the quality of toilet paper that is sold in that country.
Really?
And because it's like sandpaper. It doesn't matter if you buy the Charmin Extra, it's still sandpaper. I don't know if they use recycled paper or what they're using. It's not pleasant. So,
Okay. So I didn't know altitude sickness results in both ends.
Both
That's
ends,
tough.
baby.
That's difficult.
And my sister's writing to me in the text thread before I called them on FaceTime that, they're sick and that they're just getting adjusted to the altitude. And even though that you take pills, it doesn't matter. When you land, it hits you.
Sure.
And she's like, we were, the word diarrhea was used. And I went into a 10-act play of sliding into first and you feel something burst, diarrhea, of a litany of texts because I wanted the kids to laugh on the thread, right?
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's all you can do is just you do shtick as your
they're old enough to really get a kick out of that.
What is it? You're going into home and you feel something foam, diarrhea.
Yeah. Sliding into third, you feel a big turd, diarrhea.
Yeah. So my sister finally calls. She's like, can't you take anything seriously? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, but like my brother was already being compassionate. So I was doing jokes. I was giving shtick.
Sure. Absolutely.
As the Funkle, it's kind of your job.
We're on FaceTime. And the 2 questions that were asked were, 1, hey, cough twice, kids, if you've been yelled at by Mommy Nia. So they both coughed, which is hilarious because my mom is ruthless.
Yeah, but if you've got that altitude disease, you probably shouldn't be coughing.
Yeah.
Is she more ruthless there than she is at home?
Yeah, because she's closer to, it's like the Bolivia, the motherland. She's like the sun to Superman. She's empowered by the Incan Andes that are there and her people. So she
can draw power.
She actually gets stronger while she's closer to the mountains
awesome.
of her motherland. And so, yes, my mom's been on a rampage. And then I said, hey, guys, how about that toilet paper? Last time I was there, it was like, maybe 50 grit sandpaper. What are we talking about these days? And what was great is that my brother-in-law, who's the classiest of the bunch, says, no real improvement these days. I don't know, but somebody should do some sort of dissertation on the quality of toilet paper that is.
Well, especially with the circumstances you're describing.
Correct.
So
correct.
That 1-2 punch is not pleasant.
And the wild thing is that you're
all.
saying that it's a brand, but it's still not the standard brand quality that you're accustomed to.
Yeah, I could never live there. I'd have to import. I'd pay the tariffs.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. So then 2, my brother, I promised him that if some of the business dealings that we had discussed off air were being cleared, that I would go with him and all his medical school buddies to Medellin. So we have cleared that as we talked off air.
Colombia?
Mike. Yes. So in September, I'll be going to Medellin, and I'll be visiting a country I've never visited before. I heard they have great toilet paper, just for the record. And
I can't get over. I when you hear Medellin, you think Narcos. Every time I hear
but we're
that,
going to visit. My brother's already been there with his wife and child. Now they're driving around in bulletproof SUVs.
Right.
But they're visiting one of their friends who fell in love with a wonderful Colombian native in Miami, and then convinced him to move down to Medellin, Colombia. So he's there.
Wow.
So we're gonna go and visit him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to take a little junket to Colombia.
4 days, baby. 4 days.
Wow.
Thursday to Monday. I'll miss a couple of shows, but then I'll be back on Tuesday with.
That is really
That's wild.
When did this? Are you excited about it?
Yes. I didn't think I was going to be able to go.
That sounds. It just seems like an awfully interesting location.
Well,
it's supposed to be a beautiful.
I heard
city.
It's beautiful. I don't know enough about it. I just know that if my brother was willing to take at that point his 5-year-old child and his American Diablo Blanca wife,
right,
and get in and get out, and he's saying that it is beautiful and it is safe, and he is risk averse. He's more risk averse than anyone else I know.
Look, the way I know it, it's like every dangerous place in the world, and I include cities in the United States.
Sure.
There are places you go
Bolivia,
and places you don't
right?
go.
Most people wouldn't go to La Paz, maybe, because they think it's it's
absolutely.
dangerous.
You just don't go down, you don't go into certain favelas, right?
I think that the favelas are in the slums, but that's in the favelas are in Brazil and well documented in Fast and the Furious 7, if I'm not mistaken, or 8.
Well, if you're talking Brazil, we're back to Mike's internet site.
And that, but I'm excited. I'm also excited to check out these SUVs that are armored.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to, like when I was younger, my dad worked for the United Nations. He had an armored like Suburban, but apparently they as they call it, they armor of various types of cars down there. And I want to drive one. I want to see how heavy it is.
Now, is your trip going to be you and a bunch of other couples, like on a nice mountainous retreat home or something where you're like hanging out by the pool?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you going to go
full
out?
Resort.
I mean, a
full resort.
Oh,
and,
okay. All right.
But I'm not going with couples. I'm just going with, they're bringing their wives. I'm going by myself.
You didn't do the Airbnb?
Oh, take
Shannon?
give your lady some experience in the world.
The tickets were really expensive. I just didn't, it just
Couldn't make it on time.
That would be the place that you could make her be ripe with child.
A baby?
Yes.
I would be closer to the Highlands.
You too could draw power.
Yes. From my motherland.
You too?
You got one too? There you go.
Cat
well,
could
good
not
luck.
scratch it.
It'll
Yes.
be fun.
Good luck. My, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I bet you'll have more fun than I had in Maine this year.
It'll be close.
Yeah. Or as my son said to me the other day, what a bad summer it was.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Yeah, well, it's raining up there. We'll take a break and come back with the flip side right after this. Whenever you play that, I always think it's going to be the beginning of Caddyshack.
I love it. Love this song.
And this is this.
It
This
is.
is it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't you want to worry about me. I'm all right.
Such a great song.
It is a very nice song. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, it's so hot. New Yorkers have asked the Statue of Liberty to lower her arm. So it's time to focus on your face, and Dermglow has everything in one place. Dermglow has everything guys and gals need to battle Mr. Sunshine, and lots of it is on sale. Don't miss out on SunGuard. It's Dermglow's #1 selling sunscreen. Don't be like Rob. Protect yourself. With Dermglow, enjoy fast shipping and worldwide delivery. They even offer Afterpay for your convenience. Enhance your loveliness with virtual skin consultations and find the perfect products for you. And if you can't decide, grab an e-gift card from Dermglow. Visit dermglowskin.com today and tell them that American actor Richard Dreyfuss sent you. Richard, 5'5" and 75 years of age. Loves the facial so much that his co-stars no longer call him Richard Dryface. So, say goodbye, girl, to bad scrin.
Bad scrin.
Say goodbye, girl, to bad skin. Trust in Dermglow and Richard Stephen Dreyfuss. Some restrictions apply. Check your local listings. Go ahead.
Richard Dryface.
The flip side.
Mike, have you ever been considered a hometown hero?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I went to the prom with Candace Bushnell.
That's
Still
right.
a big deal.
It's huge.
Still a big deal in my eyes.
Monument up to both of us in the town square. Bronze.
Oh, I thought it was an ice sculpture.
No, it's like a plaque that you would see in the center of Yankee Stadium.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
well,
very
I
nice.
tell you what, it's a big deal when Mitch McConnell heads down to Kentucky, where he is the senator, of course, for the annual Fancy Farm picnic. And he is so truly loved that I'd like to play a little bit of his speech with the crowd noise included. Here's
Okay.
Mitch McConnell. You can almost hear him talking at the Fancy Farm picnic. They're chanting retire, and he's just talking through it.
Wow.
Did we ever find out what happened to his hard drive when it skipped?
Never really got any detail. I
No.
didn't see anything after that. I mean, it was like he stroked out completely, I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
and then was back at work the next day.
Yeah.
And then there was nothing further said about it. Well, I'm sorry to hear that he's having a problem with his constituent. He's, how old is he exactly?
Gosh, I don't even know. I think he's in his 70s, upper 70s, right?
When did the
Okay.
numbers start
All right.
counting backwards?
Hey, nice to be here. My name is Benjamin Button.
Mike, it is National Pickleball Day. And when I heard this parody record, I knew I had to play it. For Oscar.
Everybody seems to want to play, even though at first it may sound lame from its fun.
I'm into pickleball.
You're into the Beach Boys, too.
Yeah.
Badminton and tennis.
Oh, no. You got him.
I don't mean to spoil the. You might have this, so I'm sorry
What?
if you do. There's this big to-do with local homeowners associations banning pickleball.
It's noisy.
From their local tennis courts because they say it's a nuisance and it's too noisy.
It is noisy.
Do you
I
hear it?
Yeah. I hear it every time I play golf. I hear it.
Are you writing letters saying stop playing?
Because it's at a sports center where I go. You know, I mean, that's it. But you hear the
till late at night.
Like that. Yeah. People love it. They have it in my neighborhood down here. They've got it right down here. But I don't hear it over here.
But as we observe National Pickleball Day, I found this. This was trending. This is a pickleball instructor that talks about the scam truth of pickleball if you are a pickleball instructor.
I'm a pickleball instructor. To be honest with you, I have no idea why this sport exploded. These people have no idea how much of a scam this is. So what you're doing wrong is you're donking your dinks. When you're dinking, you can't be donking. This isn't even a real sport. It was invented for the elderly to improve their blood circulation. Now every 30-something with no stamina and bad knees is hitting me up to learn how to play. These people are too unathletic for tennis and too poor for golf. This is their only option. I'm hopping on this trend now because God knows it's not going to be around long, okay? In 2 years from now, everyone's going to be obsessed with badminton.
How would you love that to be your instructor? But he is my hero.
Funny.
He is my hero. Now, we've flown together a lot, Mike, and a good pilot on the PA is a pleasure. Love it. And I'm not so much for the flight attendants that sing. We've gotten that. But I like a great pilot, and this was trending yesterday on TikTok. This is an actual pilot making an announcement on the plane, and I think it's solid as a rock. We close with this.
Remember, the flight attendants are primarily here for your safety. After that, they're here to make the flight more enjoyable. They're going to take care of you guys, but you will listen to what they have to say because they represent my will in the cockpit or in the cabin. People should treat people the way you want to be treated, but I have to say it every single flight because people don't. They're selfish and rude. Don't lean on other people. Don't fall asleep on other people. Don't pass out on other people or drool on them unless you've talked about it. And they have a weather-resistant jacket. Little Cedars, I know it stinks to be in the middle. Raise your hand. All right, nobody's listening. Fine. You own both armrests. That is my gift to you. Welcome on board our flight.
He said anyone in the middle gets both armrests.
I'd be a little nervous after that announcement because the pilot sounds slightly unhinged.
I like
just
him.
a little bit unhinged.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know what I mean?
just one bump.
Right. I mean, it'd be one of those things where you would sit in there and go and.
Yeah, I know you might think you're concerned about this. I plan on flying this thing into the side of a mountain. That's right, because you're all rude and nasty people to my flight attendants, all right? This is my will. My will up here. My will is to control this plane, all right? F you.
I think the pilot was the lady from Hijack.
Ooh, great show. Anyway, we got to get out of here. We will be back. Let me turn that off. Thank you. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode for Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. This is Michael Mara saying so long, everybody.
Buy the fruitcake.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.